Hey guys, this is Kevin again. Today this video is going to be a little different. I had a special request from one of my subscribers and they wanted me to help answer some questions. So the title of this video is called Understanding Auto Insurance. As most of you know, I'm a licensed insurance broker and independent agency owner in the States. So after doing some research, I found that auto insurance is very similar in the Philippines as it is in the United States. However, there are some differences, especially in terminology. So to help make things easier to understand and to avoid confusion, I'll start by explaining how auto insurance works in the US, and then I will share the differences pertaining to the Philippines. When obtaining auto insurance in the US, let me share the exceptions first. There are 12 no-fault states, which means regardless of who caused the automobile accident, both parties are responsible for paying their own damages through the personal injury protection, or better known as PIP, on their insurance. So here are the states: Florida, Hawaii, Kansas, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, New Jersey, New York, North Dakota, Pennsylvania, and Utah. Also, there are 3 states where you can actually choose to opt in or opt out of a no-fault policy, and those states are Kentucky, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Okay, so those are the exceptions. All right. Now, all other states, whoever's charged to be at fault in an accident, they are fully responsible for both party damages. Okay? So let's talk about liability limits. This means the maximum dollar amount of damages an insurance carrier will pay on your behalf. Limits are broken down into 2 categories: per claim limit and aggregate. Most states use what we call split limits and have the option of combined single limits. So with split limits, there are 3 columns here, and I'll explain each column. The first column is bodily injury per accident. This is if you are the driver and the only person in the vehicle. Then this is the column that you will use. This means that this is the maximum amount of coverage that your insurance carrier will pay for bodily injury claims. If there are 2 or more people in your vehicle, then we move to the second column. And this means that this is the maximum amount of total coverage that your carrier will pay for everyone's bodily injury claims. Whether it's 2 or 10 people, it doesn't matter. The third column is for property damage, meaning that this is the maximum amount that they will cover in property damage. With combined single limits, you can see that this is a lot of coverage here, where it's $500,000 for both bodily injury claims as well as property damage. Now, in some cases, some states offer $300,000 in combined single limits. So, but it's still a lot of coverage across the board. On your policy, you will see uninsured as well as underinsured motorist coverage. Uninsured pays if you are involved in an automobile accident and the driver of the other vehicle is charged to be at fault and does not have insurance. Then your insurance carrier will pay for your bodily injury and property damage. Underinsured means that the other driver has insurance, but they just don't have enough to cover your bodily injuries and property damage, which means that you and your passengers are pretty much in bad shape. So, another question. What is the difference between having full coverage and liability only? Full coverage means you have both comprehensive and collision coverage. So let's start with collision. Collision insurance is coverage that helps to pay to repair or replace your vehicle if it has been damaged in an accident with another vehicle or object, such as running into a telephone pole or a tree or In running into a home, I've seen people do that. Uh, Comprehensive insurance is coverage that helps to pay to replace or repair your vehicle for everything else that is not collision, such as damage from your car being stolen, hitting a deer, glass claims like repairing your windshield, or when your girlfriend caught you cheating and took a baseball bat to your car. Just make sure to tell the adjuster that I don't know who that woman was. And that's when your adjuster will say, how did you know it was a woman? Oops, busted. No, but seriously, so let's talk about liability only. Liability only is insurance that only provides coverage for damages you cause, not damages you sustain. Have you ever pulled next to someone at a traffic light and you see them driving to work and the front end of their car looks like an accordion? That's someone who has liability only. Let's talk about deductibles. What is a deductible? It is a specific amount of money that the insured has to pay before an insurance company will pay a claim. That means you have to have some skin in the game before they spend the first penny or peso. So here's a free tip. The higher your deductible, the less your premium will be. I'll say it again. The higher your deductible, the less your insurance premium will be. So if you can afford to pay a higher deductible, it might behoove you to go with that higher deductible so you can have a lesser premium. All right, quickly, let's look at rental. Rental is used when you cause an accident and your vehicle is not drivable and needs repair. Your insurance company will allow you to rent a vehicle for a certain amount of days until your car has been repaired. They won't pay any more than the days that they allow. Okay? Be careful with that. Towing. Let me say something about towing. Just remember this. Anytime the insurance company pays out, it is considered a claim. Too many claims can hurt you and definitely cause your premiums to go up, or an insurance company can non-renew you. So just remember, insurance companies are in business to make money. Regardless of how wonderful their commercials seem, they're in business to make money. My advice is not to put towing on your policy. Now, there are some what we call emergency roadside services like AAA or Allstate roadside service, and there are some other private auto clubs that you can use. This way, this does not affect your insurance policy. So that's what I would choose to do. Okay, let's talk about auto insurance in the Philippines. So, from my research, most of the auto insurance companies there are very similar to those of the US. There are some differences in terminology and coverage limits, of course, which are in Philippine pesos. In the Philippines, there are two types of insurance: compulsory third party liability, better known as CTPL, which is like liability only in the US, and comprehensive car insurance, which is very similar to full coverage in the US. Compulsory third party liability limit is capped at 100,000 Philippine pesos. Comprehensive insurance covers instances where your vehicle may get damaged from certain events such as fire, falling objects, certain natural disasters, and even vandalism. Also, it includes theft, hail, glass damage, and animal damage, which does sound very similar to full coverage in the US. Let me say this. By the way, expats who are in the Philippines for over 90 days and plan to drive a vehicle need a local driver's license. However, foreign licenses are acceptable for drivers staying for a shorter period of time. The Land Transportation Office issues all licenses and has offices throughout the country. Deductibles in the Philippines. Standard minimum deductibles for private car under motor tariff is 2,000 Philippine pesos. Commercial minimum deductible under the motor tariff is 3,000 Philippine pesos. Deductibles cannot be lowered, but it can be increased. Remember, the higher your deductible, the lower the premium. And finally, someone asked me, what happens if a person at fault in an accident has no insurance in the Philippines? First, pray that you're not a foreigner or an expat. The real answer is you could face legal charges or jail time. Okay, guys, that's all I have for you. Tell me what you think in the comments section, and until next time.